Bette Davis might have had the most beautiful eyes in the business that even inspired a classic pop song.
Bette Davis eyes.
But her perfect peepers won't hold a candle to the strangely beautiful stares of these people you're about to meet. Prepare to be hypnotized by the odd eyeball charm of these 10 people with the most unique eyes. What's up, Acnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. If the eyes are indeed the windows to the soul, then our number one entry is definitely my spirit animal, so look out for that one.
Look over there!
Number 10. Nat Geo Afghan Girl. Who hasn't seen this iconic cover from the June 1985 issue of National Geographic? Her gaze is so piercing and mysterious, she could give the Mona Lisa a run for her money. The woman in the photo is Afghan refugee Sharbat Gula, and her famous mug was taken when she was 8 by renowned photojournalist Stephen McCurry. But what's the real story behind those seafoam green eyes? Sharbat was a student in an all-girls Islamic school in Pakistan when McCurry visited the place to take photos. She was initially from neighboring Afghanistan but fled with her father to seek refuge during the early Soviet wars. Her haunting stare seemed to reflect the fear and trauma she experienced as a young refugee, and the unlikely cover girl immediately captivated the entire world. But apparently, 17 years after she was photographed, Sharbat revealed that her look was actually fueled by anger at being snapped by a total stranger. In 2015, Sharbat was deported back to Afghanistan after faking Pakistani identity papers, but she says her iconic photo has helped her establish her own non-profit organization that aims to give people free medical treatment.
اوس چې دی اوس خوشاله یم چې دومره عزت او دومره شهرت یې ماله راکړو.
Keep watching because our top pick is so freaky. Just looking at his eyes might give you the chills. Number 9. Elizabeth Taylor.
On your knee. I demand it of you.
When Dame Elizabeth Taylor stares you down ferociously, you better give in to her demands. But aside from her stunning beauty, lavish lifestyle, and multiple failed marriages, the legendary actress was also famous for her natural purple eyes. Gifted with a rare and specific amount of melanin in her eyes, Elizabeth's eyes shifted from bright blue to lush lavender depending on the lighting and the reflection on the clothes she wore. And just judging by these rare photos, she did know how to make her purple peepers pop with some flattering makeup and complimentary accessories. Number 8. Morgan Boyd. These sassy little ladies from Philly won the internet in 2015 when their Instagram snaps quickly went viral. And why not? Just look at the gorgeous crystal blue eyes of then 4-year-old twin sisters Morgan and Megan Boyd.
Oh my God! Wow!
But Morgan in particular caught people's eyeballs because hers were blue on one side and dark brown on the other. Little Morgan has a condition called heterochromia, where the distribution of melanin is different on each of her eyes. Less than 200,000 Americans have heterochromia, but it appears to be more common in cats, dogs, and horses. Today, Morgan and Megan, aka the True Blue Twins, have amassed more than 40,000 subs on their YouTube channel, where they are blessing the world with makeup tutorials, arts and crafts, and just a whole lot of cuteness overload.
We both got each other backs. Yeah.
Number 7. David Bowie. He's undeniably one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century whose campy sex appeal and raw energy pushed the boundaries of rock and roll. His flamboyantly androgynous persona was both mysterious and seductive, and Ziggy Stardust's unusual set of eyes complemented his otherworldly charm that would make you believe there's indeed life on Mars.
Is there life on Mars?
But unlike our previous entry, who was born with mismatching eye color, Bowie's wasn't hereditary. His mix of ocean blue and dark green pupils was actually a result of a condition called anisocoria. in which a person's pupils differ in size due to injury, and believe it or not, it was caused by a girl. Well, not directly. In 1962, while Bowie was in high school, he got into a fist fight with his buddy George Underwood over a girl. The scuffle caused his left pupil to be permanently dilated, and it resulted in his faulty depth perception. But all's well that ends well, because Underwood and Bowie ended up playing in different bands together. Because, as they say, bros before sisters.
Jasmine from Aladdin.
Number 6. Bera. He's the scion of the richest man in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia, but 26-year-old Bera Ivanishvili has successfully carved out a name for himself as a singer, rapper, and record producer. Today, he's become one of the most famous faces in the entertainment industry that has albinism, a genetic condition that results in decreased pigmentation in the skin, hair, and eyes. Apart from his striking snow-white complexion, his light blue eyes give Bera an air of mystique. But despite his condition and silver spoon upbringing, Bera has already achieved so much at his young age. He's amassed more than 1.5 million followers on IG, has sold out stadiums in his hometown, and has collaborated with music giants like Steve Aoki and Wyclef Jean. Number 5. Primrose Austin. When little Primrose was still living in an orphanage in China, other kids would shun her for her strange silver eyes, a result of untreated glaucoma that left her partially sighted. But while others saw her as a monster, American couple Chris and Erin Austin saw her as an angel, and they immediately felt a connection with the little toddler.
When I saw the picture on Facebook, I don't understand why. I don't have any explanation. But when I look at her eyes, I see that's everything about her that brought us together.
So in 2016, the Austins decided to adopt Primrose, despite being told that she could also be potentially deaf. However, in 2018, Primrose began to experience excruciating pain in her eyes that left her sweating in pain for 16 hours a day. This prompted her adoptive parents to make the devastating decision to have her eyes removed. Thankfully, Primrose recovered faster than they expected after the surgery, which the Austins consider a miracle. Such a strong and brave little angel. Number 4. Kim Goodman. This lady isn't in the top 10 feats of the Guinness World Records for nothing, because her eye-popping talent is both mesmerizing and disturbing at the same time. Kim Goodman holds the record for the farthest eyeball protrusion, being able to pop her eyes out of their sockets by 12 millimeters. Interestingly, Kim discovered this rare ability when her eyes were accidentally hit during a Halloween party.
Ah, Catwoman. So we meet again.
Since that day, she could pop her eyeballs without difficulty or pain.
Some people think that it's freaky. They run.
Who needs a Halloween costume when you can scare the living daylights out of people with your peepers? Number 3. Liu Cheng. Now, this Chinese emperor gives a whole new meaning to seeing double. Pupilla duplex, which literally translates to double pupil, is believed to be a rare condition where a person possesses 2 irises, corneas, and retinas on the same eyeball of each eye. It looks so diabolic that ancient writers refer to it as the evil eye. And legend has it that Liu Cheng, a former Chinese minister of state back in 995 AD, suffered from this condition. But apart from his wax figure on display at the Ripley's Museum in London, there's really no concrete evidence that the Chinese leader had so-called 4 eyes. Heck, there's not even a record to this day proving that pupilla duplex even exists at all. So we leave it up to you to decide whether to believe it or not. Number 2. Khalil Underwood. Most people who like to sport a different eye color resort to wearing contact lenses, but aspiring actor Khalil Underwood isn't like most people. He wants them permanent.
I'm doing the surgery because I've always been a fan of bright eyes. I love my eye color, but I just thought it was cool to experiment with my look.
So in 2015, Underwood partnered with Bright Ocular, a company that specializes in iris implants, to give him those stunning turquoise eyes. During this procedure, an artificial iris is adjusted to cover the natural iris. However, experts warn that this may cause visual impairment days or months following the surgery. But if you're interested to know how the procedure feels, here's Khalil's blow-by-blow account.
I went in, and it was quick. They put me on, they put me to sleep, and as soon as I woke up, it was done. There was no pain.
I was hoping for more details, but I guess it's better to ask the professionals. Before we go to our number one pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. Number 1, Johnny Nobody.
Hey, I'm Johnny Nobody, Orlando, Florida.
Well, with eyes like those, this dude definitely needs no introduction. We all know tattoos to be painful, especially when you have a particularly low tolerance for pain. But imagine piercing a needle into your eyeballs. Ugh, sounds like a torture scene from an Eli Roth horror flick. But despite raising some eyebrows, eyeball tattooing has become a thing in recent years, especially for body modification artists. Daredevils have different reasons for doing it, but for Johnny Nobody, he decided to tattoo his eyeballs black to cure his night terrors.
I suffer from night terrors, and what I see in my terror actually has black eyeballs and kind of looks a lot like me.
Although his story has inspired other artists, Johnny says he wouldn't get his eyeballs inked ever again because the pupils do not dilate like they usually would anymore, causing his eyes to be too sensitive to sunlight. Good for you, Mr. Nobody! So, do you personally know someone who has strangely beautiful eyes such as these people on our list? Let us know in the comments section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? We're not done with unbelievable humans just yet. Check out our countdown of the 10 fastest people in the world right now. Blink or you'll miss it. Till then, stay unique, Facnatics, and see you in the next video.